What's up? What's up? We are doing the Core 4 Elite 8 Rivalry Week edition. We have made it through a couple recordings now. We won't spoil those for you guys, but this one is Vanderbilt, Tennessee. Let's do a quick roll call. Chase Green.
What's happening?
On the screen, Malcolm Harris. Joseph, flip the camera.
What up?
Joseph. Yeah, we got this process down. We got Vanderbilt, Tennessee. We got two Tennessee fans, one to my immediate right, probably your left on the camera, and one with a Papa Shop behind him. And we got one lonely Vanderbilt fan on an island. And then we have a Georgia fan who I'm sure is going to just can't wait to watch the chaos unfold and hates both teams.
Well,
good for you.
I'm just here for a good time, and I hope everybody has fun. That's all I'm here for.
Yeah, you've already beat the shit out of us.
Yeah. We avoided.
Dude, that was like a scrape by win. Like,
yeah,
it was a scrape by win in your heart, but for us, it just ripped mine out. toughest loss I've had in a long time.
Yeah, that would have hurt bad.
Killed the college football playoff chances. I mean, not officially at that moment, but that was. I mean, I guess Tennessee's not technically done. There would have to be.
I mean,
they're done. There's zero. There's just too many teams. There's too many
teams ahead of them.
There's a lot of weirdness that would have to happen. But
the best three-loss team in the country.
We would need like Oklahoma to lose to LSU. We would need Missouri to lose to Arkansas. We would need like Vandy. You'd have to beat Vandy.
I'd hate to say you'd have to have like bad injuries.
Yeah, I think you'd have to have not only like the SEC to have like a complete collapse, but you'd also have to have a couple of other conferenures. Like
the ACC would have to fall on its face. Like
Duke would have to win the ACC. James Madison would have to lose their it would take a lot.
There's like the Athletic put it as a 0% chance. Like they're not even on the board.
Yeah,
which sucks.
Yeah, it's too bad. But luckily, they can do the next best thing. The Volunteers can mess up they can do the same thing to Vanderbilt's college football playoff chances. So I looked this morning. I think Vandy comes in with a 23% chance right now, which is the highest of my lifetime and may be the highest of my lifetime going forward. Who knows? But here's what we're looking at. I mean, this really, really comes down in my mind to a couple factors. One of them being the home field advantage, and somebody that knows that better than anybody, somebody that played in the band, contributed to the home field advantage. Malcolm, I mean, how important is that going to be this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. But I say this, but also the Oklahoma game was the best environment that Tennessee has put out this season. And Tennessee absolutely shit the bed. Can I say shit? I'm pretty sure I can.
Yeah, you can.
So, it just wasn't enough, man. And this game, I still honestly, as we're talking, I don't know which way I'm going to lean. I really don't, because I do want to say that Tennessee is physical. They're fast. Defensively, a lot of things are starting to come together. The last 4 weeks, Tim Banks has kind of found it, right? I think that, corner Colton Hood, buddy, I might go pro right now. I'm not leaving it a chance to come back next year. There's no way. Like, I'm like, this is the best I'm ever gonna look ever. So you put that with what's my man, Ty Redmond? I mean, the true freshman who, man, he was thrown into it on accident, but he's gonna be a better piece for it.
Sure.
And I think Arion Carter's coming back from injury. I mean, it's a lot of good, but I just think that when dudes are dudes and guys are guys, and I'm going to kind of lob this up to you. I mean, Diego Pavia, to me, is a top 3 player in America, and he just happens to be Vanderbilt's quarterback. He's probably the best Vanderbilt player I think I've seen in my lifetime, bro. I'll be honest.
He passed Cutler. He's there. I think the only person in his way right now would be Jordan Matthews, and that's just that's because Matthews was so beloved. But as far as performance, man, there's nobody close. I mean, as far as individual performance and contributing to team performance, because Vanderbilt's a 5-1 team without Diego Pavia. You put Taylon Green on this team, oh boy. Yeah, fun thought experiment.
That would be.
Yeah, it'd be. Yeah.
That's very insightful, bro.
Fun. Could he end up there next year?
I don't know. Taylor Green?
Dude,
I don't know.
My
if Taylor
dream.
Green has eligibility.
I think you'd be better than that with Taylor.
I think you would too.
Then 5 wins.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I think they lose. All right, we'll go through it. I think they lose the LSU game with Tatum.
Okay.
I think they
No
definitely lose.
way.
But they won that game by a touchdown, and Pavi
Yeah,
was
but
he was amazing in that game. Like
Taylor
seriously,
Green just messed up LSU by himself to me. I know they lost, but like they
sure.
should have won.
All right, how about this? We'll call them games in doubt. Okay.
Okay,
All
okay.
right. So I even put that South Carolina game in doubt with Taylor Green.
I don't know. Like,
dude,
Lenore
I'm
Sellers
with you.
went out in that game. You're starting like Connor Shaw.
Yeah, but
like
I don't
think-
know.
I don't even-
That game, when that
I
game
don't
happened,
know.
like I just shut up. Like I didn't say anything about it because like that was Vandy's like luckiest game of the season that they got out of there with a 31-7 result. So South Carolina's in doubt. They lose. I think they lose to Alabama no matter what. LSU, Missouri, because dear Lord, I don't think Taylor Green is built to play in a game like that at all. I think they still lose to Texas. I think they lose to Auburn. And I think they beat Kentucky. So they're right there. I'm holding up 6. Vanderbilt's 5 and 6 going in this game if they were to lose all those with Taylor Green. So interesting thought experiment.
Yeah.
They could definitely be 8 and 3 coming into this game with Taylor Green as well. I would probably lean. I think it's somewhere around the middle. I think they'd be a 6 or 7 win team with Taylor Green.
I would have them at like probably 8 and 3 or 7 and 4.
Yeah.
Closer.
But
7 and 4 feels right.
Yeah.
But that speaks to how important Pavi is. Like he is, and man, their last 2 games, the Auburn and Kentucky game, I feel like his play has just ascended. I felt like there was this idea of who he was and who like he was kind of this fun story, and he was kind of this like wild card. He didn't have a particular strength that you can point towards. Where'd this deep ball come from? Where'd he get that?
That's what I was wondering.
Because man, and a lot of it is credit to Trey Richardson, the fastest man in the SEC, because man, he was dusting those Kentucky corners. And I've watched a lot of the Volunteers this year. He can do the same thing to them.
Yeah,
he really can. So I look at this game, and all year I thought they were going to lose this game. And I told myself I'm going to come on here and I'm going to pick Tennessee. I'm going to suck it up because I think Neyland, it's important. It's really, really important. At First Bank, I think Tennessee would be in for a rude awakening, even though it would be all Tennessee fans. There'd be like 20% Vanderbilt fans there at First Bank. I get it. But it matters. When you're in Neyland, it matters. It's different. How Vanderbilt loses this game is if they play like they did in the Texas game. And I think that's possible. But I'm not going to lie. After watching Auburn and Kentucky, not even LSU, not even Missouri, South Carolina, after watching Auburn and Kentucky, I don't think Diego Pavia is going to lose another SEC game. No matter if he comes back for another year, no matter what. I think this is a guy operating at the peak of his powers. I think he found that final level of whatever he is. I think right now he's as good as he's ever going to be. And I think he capitalizes on that. I think Tennessee is definitely going to make this an interesting game. I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout. They're not going to be able to do to Kentucky what they did. Diego Pavi's going to get sacked in this game. Quite a bit, actually. I think probably 4 or 5 times, at least. But I think Vanderbilt's going to pull this one out. And I think they're going to do so 30-24.
Oh, I feel like it's going to be way higher than that.
I
like 44 to
sure,
40.
I hear you. But then I also watched Tennessee in the second half versus Florida last week.
Is that a good data point?
No way. No
Tennessee
way.
in the second half versus Florida. Because to me, watching that Florida game, and I'm glad you brought that game up specifically, because I feel like watching that Florida game, the moment that game hit a 14-point lead for Tennessee, I felt like it was dead. Felt like the game was dead. Because that's just where Florida's at this point.
We were just so much better.
Like, it feels like Florida's given some valiant efforts when they can stay in games early.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play Tennessee and when you play into their style of player and their strategy and they get up on you quick, especially Florida being 3-8 now.
Yeah.
It just felt like I kind of just felt like I was going to throw the whole game out the window because everything in that was just like, hey, let's just get to the end of this.
Yeah, sure, but
Let's
you
just get
can't
to the
you
end
can't
of
give me a field goal.
I mean, they got 11. They kept the streak.
No.
of shutouts alive.
I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
talking
you
about
mean
Tennessee's
Tennessee getting a field
offense.
goal.
You can't
I mean,
like you're really going to tell me that you are going to be a good college football program and you can't give me one field goal in the second half just to like show there's a pulse there. Like I get it. They were going to win that game no matter what. Florida wasn't putting 31 up no matter what. But
No.
like that's kind of what I look at this Tennessee team. They're just inconsistent. And the reason I say 24 is this is a rivalry game. And I think possessions get longer here. Punts get more plentiful. I don't think that I just don't think that both teams are going to this is going to be like they're scoring on every possession, last one with the ball wins. I think Vanderbilt's going to have to ball control in this game. And I think that's going to disrupt Tennessee's offensive flow. I don't like I think Tennessee, what they want to do is going to be directly contrary to what Vanderbilt wants to do. And I think Aguilar is going to have a lot of success against this Vanderbilt secondary, and especially the linebackers. They're going to have some success, but I think it comes down if Vandy can get like 2 stops in this game, 3 stops. I think they win this. I think they win this football game.
Yeah, I mean, I do think you're right. I think Vanderbilt will be able to have success against Tennessee's defense, but I do think that there will be chances for Tennessee's defense to get off the field with some of the athletes they have, specifically with Arian Carter and Tyree West. Like I think they'll be able to disrupt Pavia's flow a little bit, but it's not the same as disrupting like a traditional spread offense's flow. Like the way that Tim Banks and the way that Diego Pavia and the way that Vanderbilt offense operates. Sorry,
Tim Beck.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry.
It's like
Tim Banks.
There's a lot of Tim Banks.
Real close. The way Tim Beck and Diego Pavia operate this offense, I think that it's an offense that kind of makes it hard to disrupt that flow a little bit, as opposed to like a traditional spread and pass rushing. So I do think this game will be high scoring because I think Joey Aguilar will have success. What really comes down to this for me is how much success does Tennessee have running the ball? Because like you said, with ball control, I kind of think that plays into Tennessee's strategy very well in this game, because I think if Tennessee can hold the ball and score when they want to, how they want to, and kind of keep Vanderbilt's offense on the sidelines and not allow them to build a rhythm, I think that's how this game kind of goes the same way the Texas game did. The Texas game did, where Vanderbilt kind of, maybe they start a little slow and it's 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, and then next thing you know, start of the second quarter, it's 17-0, and Vanderbilt has to spend this whole game playing from a hole. That's the biggest thing I worry about for Vanderbilt is how are you going to respond if that happens? Like, what's your strategy moving forward? Because you brought up the Texas game. It's a perfect example of it. That's exactly what happened in the Texas game.
Yeah.
Texas got up like that, and all of a sudden it was like, whoa, hang on. We're in a points hole. And ultimately you ended up coming back in that game, but it just wasn't enough.
And well, I see your point,
mm-hmm.
but they also did that in the Auburn game.
Yeah.
And there was a real, like, I thought the season was dead at 21-3.
Yeah.
And now, and they came back. They came all the way back against an Auburn defense that was supposed to be maybe not best in the SEC, but was supposed to was
very, very
when you
good.
think of Auburn this year, you don't think of anything else but that defense and Cam Coleman.
It's oh God, somebody save my boy. No, you're right, but I think also the problem with that Auburn game is the inconsistencies on that offense are not comparable to, I think, what Tennessee's been able to do this year from an offensive standpoint. Ultimately, I think I'm going to go with Vanderbilt.
Whoa.
It's kind of a.
Do you want them to win?
No, not really.
Okay.
Objectively, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm really going on who I think is going to be able to have success, and I'm kind of riding with the hot hand here, and I think that is Diego Pavia. I think this is I think that Florida game meant more to Tennessee than a lot of people think outside of Tennessee's fan base, because Again, first time they won since 2003 there. And then you go from that, this big emotional, you absolutely just belt the ass Florida. And then now you got to come home and play a hot Vanderbilt team who I don't like. I know Heupel's going to take serious, but I worry about how many of the rest of the roster for Tennessee might take this game serious with it being like it's still Vanderbilt, man. You know, like I know you can look at their record and look what they've done this year, but like, can you shake that mindset of like, oh, dude, it's still Vanderbilt, man. Like we own Vanderbilt. You know, like we're Tennessee. This is our state.
Yeah, I don't think from what I've seen, Vanderbilt hates Tennessee worse than just about anybody.
This feels very
They
like
do.
Texas A&M, Texas to me.
Yeah.
Like when we talked about
Yeah.
like one
Yeah.
team disproportionately hates. Because like if you ask Tennessee fans, like, who are your rivals? They're like, oh, it's Florida,
Vanderbilt.
Georgia, and Alabama.
Yeah.
No one says Vanderbilt.
You wouldn't be wrong there, but this is a respect. This is an ultimate respect game.
Yeah.
If they can, no matter what happens with the playoff committee, I think if you want to leave your mark on Vanderbilt,
Mhm.
you got to beat Tennessee at least once before you leave.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think also like from a playoff standpoint, from pushing all your chips in for your game because you're out of the SEC title game, this is your last chance if you're Vanderbilt to really make a statement. And if I feel like I know anything about Diego Pavia, he understands that and he understands what this game means and he wants to make a statement. I think they will. I think Vanderbilt will find a way to win this game.
Well,
Chase,
Tennessee
go
fans,
ahead, brother.
you guys have been awfully quiet.
I just
No,
really,
I've just been ready, but like Chase, I want you to take it, and I'll bring us in, man.
yeah, bring us home, brother. I hear what you guys are saying. I do. There's a part of me that I'm like, Diego has gotten a lot better in the passing game than I actually thought he would ever come close to being. And that scares the crap out of me. I do think we're going to get a lot of pressure on Diego, but I think that leaves a lot of opportunities open. That's what Tennessee's been this year. Sure. I think we're still leaders or second probably to Oklahoma in sacks in the SEC right now. But dude, we're still getting points scored on us because you can take the deep shots. We're leaving a lot of guys open. Colton Hood has been a great story, and he should have been our third corner, and that would have been awesome, but we don't have that. I think this is going to be a ton of points scored. I really do. And that makes me nervous because I think Vanderbilt's defense has moments. I know last week was a little different, but, you had a cornerback with 2 picks. I think Joey can throw him. Joey can throw him at times. So I'm very nervous, but I will say there was one man that stuck DJ Lagway last week and Aaron Carter. And I think where Pavia wants to get out, I think Aaron's going to be all over him. I think these guys really despise. I think a lot of people really despise Diego Pavia, like from all the talk. And I think that's gotten way better because I did not like him going into this year. I thought he'd be, take a regression. And I think we all kind of took that sentiment. We're like, surely they'll take a step back. But because he walks the walk, I love the guy now. Like, love the guy.
Where's the Shiesty pregame?
Yeah. And so I just thought, man, Diego will never be that guy. He's going to get rocked all year. Good luck being that guy throughout the rest of the season. He's awesome. But I will say, I think we get those few stops. I think there's going to be a ton of possessions. 66.5 is the over-under. I think we get really close. I'm taking Tennessee 38-35. I think this is potential game of the year also. I think Diego's going to have some great moments. I think Joey's going to have some great moments. We just got 2 absolute lethal weapons, the wide receiver position. We've got better running backs. You guys are right about ball control, but I think there's going to be a lot of those where like, oh yeah, let's just ground and pound, and then we just do the same thing started last week and just like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be a 5-yard run, but we just took it to the house. I think we're going to have a lot of those. I think we're going to have a lot of those on both sides. I think where you're like trying to play ball control and then somebody gets loose and you're like, well, that was a 65-yard.
You're going to miss Boo in this game.
We are going to miss Boo in some capacity. But give me Vols 38-35 and Vanderbilt still a little brother.
Hey, Drew.
Malcolm Harris.
Let me. I appreciate it, Chase. Drew, is your defense better this year or last year?
That's a great question.
What do you think?
I feel like it was better last year. This is not like a maybe a numbers pick, but I just remember thinking that we were better last year, and we just missed shit tons of tackles this year. Or do you already
Yeah,
say the S word?
You
yeah,
can
yeah,
say
yeah. We're good. We're good.
shit's not too limited. I don't think.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I feel like they were better last year. I really do. I feel like this year there have been a couple games where you look out and be like, thank God we got Diego Pavia because we would have lost that game if not because of our defense.
well, last year you gave up 538 yards of offense and 4 touchdowns to the worst quarterback of the Josh Heupel era, and got out to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter. And Vanderbilt. I'm taking the Tennessee Vols by 2+ touchdowns, and I'm going to tell you why. I hyped up Diego Pavia. I really did. But then I was like, you know what? I remember last year. And I remember that he had 100 yards passing on
Yep.
8 for 17 and just 1 touchdown pass. Listen, they punched Tennessee in the mouth last year. I remember where I was. I was actually in this very house that I'm in right now, punched Tennessee in the mouth, and I was like, oh boy. And then that Tennessee pride in me was like, you know what? Throw something on Tennessee to cover. There's just no way. I just do not see Tennessee doing that. And lo and behold, I cashed out because I rolled with my guys. I think Joey is going to have a lot to say. I think this Tennessee offense is a lot better. The one thing we lost was Dylan Sampson, but I do think with the emergence of, Deshaun Bishop, if healthy, as well as Star Thomas
Oh,
kind of
Star was
finding this
awesome.
gear, he was amazing at Florida, bruh. Like, do I think that Pavia is going to have a much better game? Yeah, I'm not going to be stupid. Yeah, Diego Pavia is going to get his. I just think that we will know in the first 10 minutes who's going to win this game based off of who scores first and then the following possession after that.
Yeah,
Because it is going to be a who has this ball last. And I just think if Tennessee's smart, plays great defense, and somebody's going to have to be a dog. There's a guy who hasn't really popped off lately. This feels like a Chris Brazzle game to me. And I don't know why. It just does. I
Because
think this is
Vanderbilt
like
has
a
nobody that can guard him.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
physically don't think, and you got my man Ethan Davis. I mean, I do not wish injury on anybody, but like kids, if you don't want to play on Saturday, you don't have to, brother. We are good. Um, yeah, give me Tennessee 48, Vanderbilt 31, man.
beat
I think
down.
the over hits. I
Wow.
mean, yeah, like I truly think Tennessee is going to make a statement. But I will say Diego's going to leave it all out there.
I think stars shine in this game. I think it's going to be Brazel, Stowers. I think Diego. I think this is a star shine on offense, and the defenses are just
Yeah.
left laying in waste. And neither one of these teams gets into the college football playoff, which
Yeah, because Florida, the one thing, and this is my last point, the Florida game, the reason I was so bullish on Florida money line, 40 money line, is because two things travel very well. And um, my gosh, Joseph has always made this point. Defense and running the football. We could not stop Mr. Ball in that backfield for the Florida Gators. That's 7 yards per carry. Defense just did not show up. That's what I thought would not happen. Now, I think Florida's unit is infinitely better than Vanderbilt. So seeing that and seeing this kind of surgence and seeing that, oh, Oklahoma is actually a really good football team. They do this to everybody. Yeah, give me Tennessee, man.
Glad you brought up last year. I think you're right. I actually, when Vanderbilt went up, what was it, 14-0?
yeah,
I knew in
Yeah.
that moment they were going to lose that football game. I was
That
like, they are
sucks.
going to lose this football game because they weren't ready. They weren't ready to play a football game like that. They weren't ready to beat Tennessee. But a whole lot of time has passed since then.
that
And
moment might have
they're
taught Diego something.
yeah, I think they've been taught. I think he was more specifically, I think he was taught the biggest lesson of his whole life in the Alabama game. I think he was taught like, hey, you can be as good as you want. one man doesn't define a team, and I think that's what we're looking at. Like the Texas game, I think they just lost. Like I think they just got beat.
I
But
loved him in the Texas game though. Like when I
he was
saw
great.
how he fought at the end, I'm like, bro, like I kind of like this guy.
Yeah, he was great. The team
Real
was
deal.
the team was awful in that game.
Can I ask you guys something? I thought about this the other day. Like if they somehow wound up pulling out that Texas game, I don't think he wins it. But do you think Diego's in New York for the Heisman?
Yeah,
Oh, he's going to New York.
I think he's in New York now, bro.
He's tied for third in odds right
Is
now.
he?
Yeah, I think he's in New York.
If he
also.
now if he beats Tennessee,
Ty Marcel.
no.
Ty's out, bro.
Ty's out.
Mendoza, saying Jeremiah Love, Pavia.
Yeah,
right now.
Oh, yeah,
those are your four.
Yeah,
because Jeremiah Love decided he's going to have 8 carries for 3,000 yards.
Yeah, whatever. But
yeah, rest in peace,
So-
Syracuse.
yeah, that's a good question. Is there anything that he can do in this game to win the Heisman Trophy? I don't think so. I think both Ohio State and Indiana would have to lose, and Sayan and Mendoza would have to be the reason that they lose in those games.
I mean,
He would.
I think he could because I think he could because I think if Mendoza has a bad game against Ohio State's defense, I think that could ring with voters.
Yeah. That would be.
Especially if Pavia balls out against Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean,
But
he
he's
would
not
have
going to be in
to.
a conference championship. That's the biggest.
I know.
I know.
Sayan would have to suck this weekend.
Yeah, like Sayan would have
like
to
Michigan
Sayan would have to be the reason that I'm saying both Mendoza and Sayan in front of him, which I think he's a way better player than both of these guys. Like I just do.
Oh, I mean,
As a football player.
if we're
as
talking
a
about
as a football player, as important to his team as he is. Like again, another fun thought experiment. Mendoza on Vanderbilt, 6 or 7 win team.
I mean, if we're talking about like best player, it's Jeremiah Love.
Sure,
dude.
sure.
Like,
if you want to do best player, then you can go down the defensive Caleb Downs rabbit hole. Like have fun. But
him in New York, dude. You would not hear a peep of a complaint from me if Caleb Downs was in New York for the Heisman Trophy.
Preseason prediction going crazy right now.
He's so good, dude.
So there's no way Love can win it, right? Like he'll get there.
I don't think Love. Yeah, you go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say no, but like he deserves it to me. Like he's so electrifying.
Sure,
They would have had to have beaten Texas A&M.
Yeah,
Or my
That's
And-
what's you have to win one of those games. I guess now, hindsight 2020, like now beating Texas A&M would have been better. Like, the first game's out, but that's like the one. It's like that go. You guys would have just held on to that game. That would have been your huge moment. And then you have this game, and then you have the USC. I mean, it would have taken so much because I think he's like really. I mean, I don't think he's quite Genty numbers, but he's doing it against damn good.
No, he's better than Ashton Genty. Like
As far as a player, yeah.
Let's get that out of the way. Jeremiah Love is a better. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with that. Like he has a better frame. I think he's faster. Like his ability to stay on his feet is equal to Genty. That's what made him so elite.
Balance.
Yeah, the contact balance is unbelievable.
Yeah. So
that's that Kamara jet. It is like that.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys.
It just kind of sucks. Like, I think Pavia, like somebody talking like that, talk about like Tyler Haynes. Like, I think he's gonna be a great college player and like probably the best college player we have to his team.
Yeah,
maybe Marcel's close. Like, but Mendoza's gonna be a better pro. Sayan's probably gonna be a better pro. Like, Sayan's just got such a good team around him, and he can freaking spin it. He is fun to watch, not gonna lie. He's way better than I thought. But right now, like to his team, if Pavia goes out here and just lights up the world, I mean, he's gonna get there, but
I don't think I don't think he can. Now, I think he'll, as long as if they win the Tennessee game, he will be in front of Jeremiah Love. That's just the nature of these things. Like as a quarterback, he's just going to be in front of Jeremiah Love.
Because to beat them, he's going to have to be.
Yeah, because he'd have to be the reason, and he will be the reason.
Who does Notre Dame finish with?
I don't even know. That's what I was.
No. Oh goodness.
Who does? Yeah, I don't know who Indiana or Notre Dame are playing this week.
Indiana plays Purdue.
Yeah.
So
that's right. I knew that. I figured it was a cupcake. I was like, is it?
Yeah,
Northwestern
that's just. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think for me, I don't think there's even a question who's been the best player in the country because I haven't watched Julian Sayin play a single down of football yet. So
he can freaking spin.
I'm just kidding. I've
Yeah, he
watched a
can,
couple,
dude.
but
He's incredibly accurate.
When did
but
we
he's
lose-
also throwing to 3 NFL receivers.
sure. When did we lose the Gunnar Stockton Heisman case? When did that fall off a cliff?
I don't know if it fell off a cliff as much as it just came on too late.
Really?
Yeah.
I that's one I'm mind blown, and I hate to say it. I think it's like just because I think they're too efficient. Like just as a whole package, like it
Yeah.
just looks like an efficient offense instead of him being the reason sometimes. If that, I don't know if that really makes sense.
That to me is the death of the Georgia quarterback Heisman. Is because as long as Kirby's there, that's what they're going to be. Is they're just going to be efficient because they don't want to be flashy. They don't want to be anything else. They just want to be efficient because if they're efficient, they're scoring points. They're not turning the ball over, and they'll defense and run game their way to wins. Like that's why I think I just in my opinion, as a Georgia quarterback, when you go to play for Georgia, you are taking certain things away from yourself, and you
Yeah.
understand that, but you are playing at Georgia.
Yeah,
So you're going to win a lot of football games, probably.
but he's had his Heisman moment. That's the
That's
thing.
yeah, now,
As far
don't
as
get me
like
wrong,
the guy that has the Heisman moment, and I think it sucks because it's like if this were 7-8 years ago when we're just not in this crazy cycle of media like how we had,
yeah,
like we had to rely on the highlight reel for CBS to give us that.
Yeah.
I think we would probably have a better case, but I think it's just the way this works now. And it's media, like it's just part of it. I think Gunnar would have a better case.
I think it's also a fact that Georgia spent like the entire month of October kind of, I don't want to say figuring out who they are, but they kind of played these really close games and people were kind of like, oh, well, Gunnar just, Gunnar bailed him out again. And it's like, okay, well, now they did it again. And they did. That's what I mean by it came on too late, where it's like
Sure.
we got to October, like in September, they were kind of shaky. They were like, I don't know. A lot of people had preconceived notions about Gunnar. Like, and then in October, it was like, okay, Georgia's kind of doing this thing where they're hanging around, and then finding a way to win a game. And this Gunnar kid's looking pretty good. Like he's making clutch plays, but he's not lighting up the scoreboard with numbers. And then we get to November, and it's like, oh, hey, Gunnar's balled out the last like 4 games he's played.
Yeah.
I just think it came on too late.
It's too
Like,
quiet.
Well, and I think
yeah.
his Heisman moment would have been in the Tennessee game.
Bingo.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
And that,
Yeah.
and from that perspective, it's too early. Like, you don't want to be I mean, I guess if
Well,
you're the best player in the country, like, sure, but
Yeah.
like how you described, like all of this has happened after
Yeah.
that Heisman moment.
Well, the timing of that mixed with you do that, and then next time people see you, you lose to Alabama. Not because it's Gunnar's fault. I actually probably would have won that game if Taylor hadn't have dropped that pass. But I mean, that just happens. It's football. It's part of it.
Yeah.
But again, it's Mendoza had his in October against Oregon. Like that was the big like, oh hey, like this Indiana's not just beating up on bad teams. Like
They
they're
can play.
balling.
Yeah.
And then Julian Sayin, he's an 80% completion guy, but he's outside of Texas. Their schedule's been kind of lacking, and he's playing with 3 NFL wide receivers. So it's something he's done all year, though. That's the thing. And so I think that's the reason why. Not that the Gunnar Heisman case died.
It just never got to take off.
Yeah. It just arrived late. That's all it is.
It's a good point about efficiency because I feel like Pavia is credited with everything he does, and then Gunnar's like, well, look what he did at the very end of this game to save the mighty Georgia, the mighty G logo.
Yeah.
So we'll bring him in. Greg, are you still with us, buddy? You want to weigh in on Vandy, Tennessee?
Yeah, I can't wait for this game that you guys talked about, the game of the year draft, and this was one of my picks, and I was super excited about getting it and the way that the whole season has played out and how well Vanderbilt's done and where Tennessee's at right now. I know both of these teams are not going to make the college football playoff, but it's been a really good year. And like you guys were talking about at the beginning of the episode of, I don't know if there has ever been more on the line and both teams being as good as they are going into this final week of the rivalry week games. Look, Diego Pavia, obviously he's going to be the maestro and he's going to be sort of the straw that stirs the drink for Vanderbilt, and Tennessee knows that. And you guys were talking about, Miggy, you asked Drew, like, hey, is Vanderbilt's defense better or worse than last year? I would kind of think something similar about Tennessee, where to me it feels like this Tennessee defense is worse than it was last year. So to Chase's point, it seems like a lot of points are privy to be scored in this game. So I'm going to go kind of with you guys as Tennessee fans. I'm going to take Tennessee at this game at home. Both teams obviously playing really good football right now. If Tennessee can hold Diego Pavia down from a rushing perspective, the couple of times that they've played on the road this year against good opponents, they've lost. Obviously losing 30-14 should have been, kind of a closer game than the final score indicated there against Alabama. They just in the second half couldn't really get anything going from an offensive perspective. And then that game against Texas, obviously we're getting blown out, most of that game, and then had that furious comeback. So I'm looking at these games that they played on the road. And again, I get it. You can kind of throw some of these things out with rivalry week games. But I'm going to go with Tennessee. It is going to be a close one. It's going to be tough and tight late. I'll say like 45-41. I'll say Tennessee wins.
Oh, boy. So we are a house divided almost down the middle. Fortunately, there's 5 of us. So Tennessee, that stupid Power T, is getting picked to win this one by a margin of 3-2. Shocker, there's 3 Tennessee fans on the podcast. Completely surprising, but man, this has been a lot of fun. We have, 8 of these things that are going to be out by Thursday night, the target date.
Yep.
So this has been a lot of fun. This one, I hope, will be the game of the year. I really don't hope that Vanderbilt blows them out. Actually, I hope it's going to be just a lot of fun, and then I hope that there's a bunch of drunk, sad Tennessee fans that have to leave Neyland, and for the last time they get to watch Diego Pavia walk off the field.
That's
and
gonna
know
be a lot. It's
that
gonna be a lot.
he owns the state. But I guess we'll just have to watch the game. This has been the Vanderbilt Tennessee edition of the Elite Eight Core 4. We'll see you.